So I'm here in London because I've been invited by TikTok.
Officially the world's biggest book club.
You're going to help us sell some books, aren't you? Good afternoon. Well, no, actually, good morning. It feels like afternoon because it's so hot. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Martin. I write fantasy books as MA Knights, and these vlogs are just a little glimpse into my day-to-day life. It's been a bit chaotic the last few weeks. I can't even really explain to you why. I feel like we've been doing things, we've been places, but I've been finding it very difficult to maintain any kind of rhythm, which has made it difficult to record a vlog. But we took a trip for a special event back at the beginning of July into London, and I managed to get some good clips of that. So that is going to form the bulk of this vlog. So without further ado, let's get into it.
On our train into London, I'm reading The Harmon Coben, which is quite water damaged, and Martin.
I'm about to start reading this. This was actually day one of a month-long reading challenge. I'd set myself to try and read 31 books in 31 days to get myself out of a reading slump. I'm still in the middle of that challenge, but I'm doing okay. Anyway, we got to London and got a little lost trying to find our hotel. Found this nice statue, which has something vaguely dystopian about it. But anyway, this was our hotel. This is our hotel room, thanks to TikTok, which is cute. We have a view out here of, I'm not sure what that is. I think that's the station. What's in here? Oh, the bathroom. Very nice. What's in here? Oh, tea and coffee. Nice. I then had a little moment when I realized that my name was written on the TV screen in the hotel room. It's the small things in life, isn't it? I then settled down to do some more reading in my desperate attempt to get a head start on this reading challenge, but also to try and settle my nerves because I was starting to feel quite nervous about the impending event, which I will describe for you in a moment.
So I'm here in London because I've been invited by TikTok to do a after-hours tour of the British Library tonight. We're doing an hour-long live session, me and another creator. And it promises to be fun, although I am somewhat nervous. But that's why we're here.
I then discovered that outside our hotel room in the corridor, they had a bunch of Penguin books on the wall. I'm not really sure why, but it was cool, especially as I was there for a bookish event. And then down the corridor, there was a pantry, which is the greatest thing I have ever experienced in a hotel in my life. Also, the snacks were Wimbledon themed because Wimbledon was on at the time.
The Lord of the Manor.
Hi.
What's out there, babe?
A big dome. I think it must be part of the station.
I think it's King's Cross St Pancras.
Also, a roof garden over there, which is pretty cool.
Is there? Do you want to wave? Does they move back?
And then the live happened. Unfortunately, I didn't get any footage of that.
How would King George find his book from here? How would he? Hi everyone, I'm Reads with C.
Hi everyone, I'm MA Knights. I'm here at the British Library, where the library comes alive.
We are here at the British Library, like Martin said.
We are going to take you around some of the many things to see.
This right here is one of the main pieces in the British Library. It's called the Yes, Yes, Yes artwork. So it's repeated 169 times, guys.
That's the thing, it's not just books that they have here, is it?
So what Martin's basically showing you at the moment, guys, is our King's Library Tower. It's 6 stories up.
6 stories up.
6 stories up.
They said it was visible from almost every floor of the building.
How how would King George find his book from here? How would he?
Give you another idea of the scale of this building. It's made out of 10 million handmade bricks. Can you imagine making 10 million bricks?
10 million handmade bricks. Wow. But guys, we're going to call it a night there. Thank you so much to everyone that has joined.
We really appreciate it. We hope you've enjoyed the tour, and we hope that you're planning to come and see it for yourself soon.
But this is some shots of me wandering around the empty British Library after the event. It was a bit of a whirlwind, to be honest. We had over 200,000 people watching us, which was insane. And then we went out for some drinks afterwards to try and unwind a little bit. Ended up being a pretty late night just because I was too keyed up to sleep.
There's the next morning, and we are heading down to breakfast.
We spent the next half hour or so just trying to look normal as we sat in this 5-star hotel's breakfast lobby lounge. I don't know what you call it. Anyway, it was very nice, but not something we're particularly used to. We actually had an even busier day ahead of us because the whole reason we were coming to London in the first place was originally because it was my wife Hayley's 40th birthday. So we had a nice restaurant booked and we were going to see a show later in the day. And then after that was another TikTok event at the British Library that we'd been invited to. So we were a little bit worried that it was going to be too much, but it actually ended up being a really, really nice day. Which started, of course, with a little book shopping. This was on our way to the restaurant we booked for lunch. And I spent a few moments pondering the meta nature of possibly buying a book about London bookshops whilst standing in a London bookshop. I decided it was too meta for me. It was a really nice bookshop though. It was just a Waterstones, but not one I'd been to before. It wasn't far from our hotel in St Pancras, King's Cross, so worth a visit if you're in that area, I'd say. We then continued on into Soho, where we had lunch booked at a vegan-vegetarian restaurant called Mildred's, and I have to tell you, it was incredible. We loved every single dish that we had. We had like this kind of like taster menu, and I'm so glad we went for that because there was a lot of things that I probably wouldn't have ordered left to my own devices, but I actually thoroughly enjoyed. So yeah, it was a really, really nice dinner, and definitely somewhere that we will be going back to next time we're in London, I think. And then we hot-footed it over to the theatre, where we were booked in to see the matinee performance of Moulin Rouge. Then it was straight out of the theatre and back into the British Library. It was actually really cool because I got to go in some of the rooms and look at some of the special collections that unfortunately I wasn't able to do the day before because of issues with transmitting the live in some of the other rooms. So we got to go and see things like the Magna Carta and the original manuscript of Beowulf. Which was really, really cool to see.
So I am back at the British Library again tonight, and I'll give you guys a little view. It's looking a little different tonight. There is just one or two extra people here this evening. The Book Talk event is in full swing.
It's officially the world's biggest book club. You guys did that. And this is very cool because I kind of feel like I'm on Book Talk Safari right now. Basically, my entire page is in this room. Who TikTok in the last year. Okay, we're all in this together.
So if you were starting out or were first off in Japan, how would you approach your readers?
But to be perfectly honest, by this point in proceedings, I was feeling pretty burnt out, pretty done, socially speaking. And so we took the opportunity to just explore more of the library away from the noise and the hustle and bustle.
Martin's been very excited to see this.
The largest map in the world, or it was until 2012.
I'm not filming you, I'm filming the map, so you have to say that again.
Largest map in the world, well, largest atlas in the world until 2012.
Like, to be fair,
Now, presumably, it's the second largest.
if you go and stand by it, like, it
It's
is.
pretty big, it's taller than me.
I mean, that's not saying much.
Rude. And after the event, after we'd catched up with a few people, it was time to head home, and I basically crashed out on the train because I knew what was coming soon the next day. Actually, we did have one day of rest in between, but then we were back out again because Hayley's best friend had organised her a alpaca walking experience for her birthday. And so we went to visit the farm and meet some very cute babies. To be honest, I didn't really know what to expect. I kind of had in my head it would be something like a pony trekking experience. But I think it's fair to say that alpacas are not as enthusiastic about the whole thing as perhaps most horses or ponies are. They put up with us, I think, is the best way to describe it. We led them along through some of the farm's paths. We did see this cool fox. They were, I would categorize them as reluctant participants in the experience. They seemed happy enough, and what was really nice to see was that the farm definitely put their welfare before ours, if you know what I mean. If they weren't having it, then that's just how it went. So, you know, that's nice to see. And so that was that weekend, but the fun didn't stop there because we are trying to do, we being me and my wife, who is helping me more and more with the publishing business, we are trying to do more in-person events in 2026. And we've done a few so far, and we had another one the next weekend after our trip to London. So welcome to Coventry Festival of Books. The sun was shining, the bunting was out. We are all set up at Coventry Festival of Books. Getting a dab hand at this now. And it's looking like quite a busy store. I feel like I need to redesign maybe for the next one. To be honest with you, that is where the enthusiasm ended. The weekend was not a total failure. We did make a profit, but I have to admit that it wasn't great either. Some organizational decisions that had been made didn't really help, but also I just don't think the event was designed with us booksellers in mind. It was more of a celebration of literature and books, which is a great thing, don't get me wrong. But when you're there trying to sell books, it's not always great when people are being pulled off in different locations to talks and events and the mayor turning up and all that sort of stuff, especially when those events are taking place across the road at a different venue, meaning that they then don't come back. So that wasn't brilliant. It is the second day of the Coventry Book Festival today, and guess who's coming with me to sell books? Bilbo. Hey, baby.
Chief bookseller.
Chief bookseller. Hi. So yeah, we are going to be dog wrangling today. It's probably going to be good and bad. He may attract some potential customers, but he may cause us a lot of stress. We'll see how it goes. Good afternoon. Well, no, actually, good morning. It feels like afternoon because it's so hot. But so we are back here at Coventry Book Festival for the second day. We have our thing all set up. Gone with a slightly different setup today. Trying something a little bit different to see if it helps. We are under this nice, big, beautiful tree. But we also have a secret weapon today.
we have our chief bookseller making his debut. Don't we, Bilbo? Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Good boy. You're going to help us sell some books, aren't you?
I think
We're going to keep you in the shade, though, aren't we?
Martin does this full time, and I work.
So, yeah, wish us luck.
Luck, sadly, was not really with us that day. The wind picked up and we ended up having to lie everything flat on the stool just to make it stay on the table, which wasn't great. So the second day pretty much proceeded exactly as the first one had. We made some money, but not much. I don't think, as things stand, it's an event that we'll bother going back to again. You know, we're still learning all this stuff, and we've done some big events, some smaller events. And I think what we're slowly learning is that possibly the smaller events, although cheaper to attend, aren't necessarily worth it. So far, what we've experienced is you kind of break even, you make a little bit of money, but there's just not the footfall to justify the time spent. And that's the honest truth of it. So I'm going to leave it there for this one. I hope you enjoyed a little glimpse into what it's like to be an indie author. There's a lot more that goes on than just sitting at your desk typing. Although sometimes I think most of us wish that that was the main thing we had to do. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. And if you did, please consider liking and subscribing and all that stuff, because it helps push the videos out. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.